up on us. Is that closing? Shut up, shut up, shut up! Go faster. Must go faster. Must go faster. Must go faster.
Hey, remember Jurassic Park? Oh, you love Jurassic Park. Remember Jeff Goldblum? Oh, I remember Jeff Goldblum. He was fantastic. I love Jeff Goldblum.
This is getting ridiculous.
Why are they so violent with the title? Jesus Christ. One thing that I love about this movie is how freaking dramatic it is with everything.
God damn!
Alright, but seriously, that's probably the last of it. You gotta love the 90s. Independence Day. The movie starts off July 2nd, 1996. The irony here is that there's a plaque on the moon that says, "We came in peace for all mankind." You know it's gonna be an alien invasion movie when they say something like that. And you know, it's kind of hard to feel bad for the humans because, you know, considering the humans' track record of going to distant lands and then acting all nice and then trying to conquer the people when they don't bend over and give them exactly what they want. And I don't want to hear it's an American thing because every single country across the globe has done that. Every single one. Doesn't matter if they look like each other or speak the same language. If one person is stronger, they take over the other people. I mean, humans even killed out the Neanderthals. Apparently their technology of using bones and stuff for weapons caused them to gain the upper hand in clobbering the Neanderthals. But apparently there's like new research that also shows that early humans shagged them to death as well. So there's a double entendre going on there where they like boned them to death in both situations. Okay, I'll stop. That being said, if humans are like that, it's to be expected that if you have a creature race that is more advanced than we are, then they're probably going to do the same thing and see us as ants. Anyway, a mothership alien spaceship heads towards Earth. Everyone is acting surprised and they don't know what it is.
Is only 375,000 kilometers.
So they figure out that the source that they're hearing or getting is very close to the moon or on it. And people are trying to figure out what it is as if they don't have telescopes. I'm sorry, maybe I'm a little bit naive in how things work, but why would you know where it is, know like the direct location it's coming from, not use telescopes to look for it, to identify it? I mean, we can find black holes and stuff. I mean, this was 1996. I'm assuming the movie does take place in that year, which I believe it does strongly. So why can't anyone see what this is? Why are they adding up the drama gratuitously for the sake of suspense when you literally could just look? The President of the United States, who's always the male romantic interest in so many movies, but now you never see him anymore, asks his first lady to come home, but you know, she's busy and whatnot. The President is with his daughter. We have this woman who is by his side. I guess she's like his secretary or something. The President gets a call that there's some kind of object coming close to Earth. And for scale, you get an idea of just how big it is when you see the satellite take its time and collide into the object, which at this point, all the satellites in that region are going kaput. Jeff Goldblum plays chess with his father. He is exactly the same character as he was in Jurassic Park. As the mighty ships enter the Earth's atmosphere, they set it on fire and all the machines start going haywire. The poor pilots in the sky have no choice but to freaking die and fry in a horrible death. It's shameful, because nothing that they do is going to help them in this matter. And there's several of these large ships that come from the ultra-massive ship that's still outside the Earth's atmosphere. The President has decided to stay with his people. He does not want to retreat to a bunker. That's just not his style. There's this one guy in this movie that I think played a character in Charlie the Dog, All Dogs Go to Heaven. I can't remember, but he's a very specific voice. And it always sounded like he was choking.
All right, everybody, head down to the basement. Take it slow, don't run.
Jesus, my throat feels like it's bleeding listening to him. And though he's a very sweet character, it's very clear that he and some of the other offshoot characters are not really great at acting. We meet Russell, an old Vietnam vet who is now a drunk crop duster who gets made fun of by the other guys because he talks about aliens abducting him. And he also is usually so drunk, he ends up dusting the wrong fields. And everyone just wants to see this character redeemed. Right around then, his 3 children notice one of the very large city-wide alien ships coming through the atmosphere. Oh, look, it's Will Smith. Asleep with a stripper girlfriend, and obviously very tired, he doesn't take it seriously. Neither does she when the kid comes in and is like, "Hey, I'm shooting aliens out here." And apparently, because they're in LA, earthquakes are very common. I know exactly how they feel. Earthquake happens and you're like, oh, well, whatever. But you have other places in like America where if the earth is barely moving, people are freaking the hell out. Everyone starts to notice the very hard to ignore shadow casting spaceships that are setting up over their cities. And one thing this movie does right is get everybody together so we can see their reaction to it, even though their reaction isn't very realistic. A lot of them, some of the extras actually do better than the main characters. And it's now because Boomer, the golden retriever, has walked in that Steven is like, oh, okay, I guess the neighbors are all moving. The last thing he's thinking is that it's aliens. The little kid told him that he's shooting aliens, but kids usually play around like that. So he has no reason to believe that's actually what's happening. He goes outside to get his mail, I swear. I get it, he's half asleep. And maybe he's not looking up, he's looking at all the people. And I swear, Will Smith's his reactions are so funny. Like, one of the things I love about him is just like, look at the way man, he's hilarious. You're turning your head, you know, find it very hard to believe this person is supposed to be a pilot. And you are turning your head, you're now awake, and you're looking at people, and you see the helicopter, but you didn't see the ginormous black object in the sky right in your line of vision that all the other people are looking at? Good grief, what drugs did you do the night before? Must have been some good sex that woman gave you if you're just freaking blind in the morning. Oh, now you see it?
Ah, I see it now.
Babe, you want some of this coffee? Babe.
So you mean to tell me that she looked out of the window and saw her boyfriend standing there? He is in the direct line of sight of the huge, ginormous black thing that is in the sky in the otherwise clear sky, and she didn't see it, and then she's sitting there and trying to get his attention without looking at what he's looking at that's very clearly in the sky that she should have seen when she looked out the window to see him.
Stupid woman!
Anyway, after she finally freaking has her eyes work, her boyfriend, Captain Stephen Miller, has got to get a move on because despite being on leave, I mean, this is not the kind of situation that you can just sit out. And she and her son Dylan are going to have to leave the angelic city of Los Angeles. The spaceships conveniently place themselves over all areas of major cities, and I just don't understand why they're waiting. Apparently, they're just sitting there, and we know they're getting ready to hurt these people. You go to an alien nation. You know enough about them to know where their important cities are with the most people and highest populations, so you must know that they have some sort of technology, or maybe they're just trying to instill fear in people, but like, what's the point? Why not just go and shoot right away? It's obviously done for dramatic effect. Aliens in this case are totally stupid.
Tell her to pack up and leave town.
Why? What happened?
Just do it!
Oh, Ma, listen, get your stuff together and head for Anastas.
It's good that our friendly neighborhood T-Rex decided to tell his mother to leave the area before he even knew what was the problem. That means that our Ian Malcolm character is very trustworthy. And I just love this guy. Like, his acting isn't great. Compared to Jeff Goldblum, there's just like no comparison. But the way he is and his voice are like throwing me completely off. It makes sense that I've heard of it before because his voice is so unique that they use him for like bad guys and stuff. I can imagine he makes a lot of money off of that.
Don't argue with me, just go! David, why'd I just send my mother to Atlanta? David, talk to me.
He runs like he's dancing. I love it.
The signal hidden in the satellite feed is slowly recycling down to extinction.
Not real.
So David basically tells Dancing Guy that, yeah, the signal that they were hearing from the spaceship, it's a countdown.
A countdown. Wait, a countdown to what, David?
Oh my god, what is wrong with this character? Like, goddamn, the acting, though, the acting is freaking killing me. I don't know if he just got off of Broadway or something, but this kind of, like, over-the-top flailing around, that's the kind of acting they did in, like, 1950s, I think. And this person seems stuck back in that time. Wasn't his best work, which is probably why he sticks to voices. So David says that what the aliens are doing is like chess, putting their pieces over the world and strategizing. I wouldn't say it's like chess, to be honest. I would say it's like laying mousetraps or traps in general, because chess involves two people playing and being smart enough to play it. The humans are basically helpless unless the aliens are waiting for their next move and getting some kind of pleasure out of this, which I don't think is what's happening.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I gotta call my brother. I better call my housekeeper. I gotta call my lawyer. Forget my lawyer.
It's Jeff Goldblum. See what I mean? Who casted this person? Oh my god. Honestly, seeing scenes like this with people or actors like this next to someone like Jeff freaking Goldblum makes me believe with all my heart that there was some serious case of nepotism going on here. Somebody owed someone a favor or someone was being blackmailed because good god, I do not think he was the right choice for this role. So Steven leaves Jasmine and says, look, I gotta do this. I got to save the world. They say their goodbyes. Jeff Goldblum goes to get his dad, and his character, named David, heads for the White House to tell them that he unlocked the code and it's actually a bomb that's going to be set off or some kind of destructive weapon. Jasmine begs her friend and warns her not to go to the roof of that building to ask the aliens to take her with them. Because, you know, someone needs to tell you that. Anyway, David gets to the White House and tries to call his ex-wife or whoever she's supposed to be. He still wears her ring, which means he still loves her, even though his father told him to move on like a good man. And he says that her number or emergency contact for that specific phone is in public records.
Don't hang up, sweetie.
David, how did you get this number?
Funny they never mentioned it. It's in your public records. You listed that number as your emergency contact. Why are you then surprised when the person who you were married to before has that information when the entire world has it, you freaking mook?
Dumbass.
Right before Goldblum is able to tell him this, they send a plane with a little fancy message. Like a freaking Tesla dancing. As you can guess, this poor aircraft that's acting like a desperate firefly to mate with another firefly gets roasted out of the sky before the president can do anything about it. He had just been told by David that this was the case. This poor guy and his partner and the rest of the aircraft are blasted out of the sky, and that's basically the aliens' answer to their little light show. Sorry, we're not interested in being courted by you. You are our freaking food. Everyone evacuates the White House. Luckily for Goldblum and his father, they get on the plane with the president. Unfortunately, the president's wife is on a different aircraft. Honestly, I do not know why the aliens are waiting this long. These idiots atop of one of the buildings decide that they are going to have the aliens take them because sure, they came to your planet, left theirs from how many millions of light years away, just so they could pick you up and carry you home with them. And that girl is there. Didn't Vivica A. Fox tell you not to go there? What is he laughing about? All these people are going to have a rude awakening pretty soon. This is the first hyper-aggressive mood from the aliens, and this scene gives kind of a Godzilla-ish vibe as people try to run and hide from the destruction that is upon them. It's at this moment that my dog decides that she wants to suck her asshole.
Excessive licking, excessive grooming.
What is wrong with you?
Unfortunately, our character here meets his doom. I'm just wondering if this is exactly how people would react in this situation. That would probably be me. I probably would have been like, oh well. Because like, what else are you gonna do, right? Scream in fear? I can't even feel sad for the poor thing because his life was never given any meaning except for the comedic effect. Like, no one ever took him seriously. He doesn't feel real when he dies. Meanwhile, Jasmine runs with her son and all her bags. Like, those bags must be really important to see an explosion coming towards you of a lake of fire and flame and brimstone and I mean, unless the kid has medical issues and you have important documents and stuff, but those are a lot of bags. She's gonna stop and take all her bags out with the child, which is going to cause her to run slower. I mean, look at how much stuff is bogging her down while she's running with this kid. Everybody is running ahead of her, and the explosion is just moving as slow as possible to give the main character time to get away. And then, like, why do you keep looking behind you? If you are running from a situation, stop looking behind you. I know they did the shot because Vivica A. Fox is, like, completely gorgeous. Part of why they're paying her, but it's so unrealistic. And somehow she's behind everyone whose adrenaline is also pumping at full capacity. She ends up passing hundreds of them while she's holding a child in all those bags. That's true mother power right there. And then, look, her car's already inflamed. How was the dog, who's been standing here the whole time, not in flames? Not that I want the dog to be. I'm actually really happy they didn't kill the dog. I didn't even realize this dog was a Labrador Retriever. Like, I was looking at it the first time and I thought it was a Goldie, but no, it's a Lab. lab. But seriously, puppy, what are you doing? You're just standing there. That in real life, that would not happen. Dogs are terrified of fire. I mean, like, really terrified of fire. That will, like, scar them mentally if they come into contact with a wall of flame coming after them like that. Not to mention, if the dog had been standing there the whole time and cars are flying up in the air, she has the time to kick open a maintenance door several times, and the dog has been standing there the entire time. I don't see how he's still alive. But you know what? This is okay. This is the kind of plot armor that I am totally okay with. This plot armor, I'm okay with this. I am totally okay with this as long as the dog is alive. It can be completely ridiculous as long as the puppy makes it out okay. I forgive them for that. However, if the dog was not in the equation, she should not be alive because the fire just doesn't stop. You know, actually, I watched this movie and I actually ended up thinking that if you go into a room, mind you, I was little, but if you go into a room like this, if there's a wall of flame coming after you, you'll be safe. If you go behind a rock, you'll be safe because that's how they show it in movies, which is like some gross negligence right there and severe misinformation because there's going to be a whole bunch of people who are going to be Kentucky Fried thinking that if they hide in a maintenance room in the middle of an explosion, that they're going to make it out completely fine.
Morning of July 3rd.
Oh, look how sad the Statue of Liberty looks. Russell, the crop duster pilot, and his 3 kids come upon this field in the desert, or I guess clearing in the desert, where a whole bunch of RVs and mobile homes have congregated. The president's gotten the unfortunate word that his wife's plane never made it to the destination, which means she's probably dead. Somehow Jasmine and her son and the dog are still alive, and Steven and his best friend are prepping to go up there and try to kill, or at least maim, one of the spaceships.
Oh, bring that bad boy on, Cap. Got your victory dance? Well, I got it right here. Yeah.
Such a weird person. He's so weird, it's uncomfortable, and I know, because I'm like that too. I mean, not that weird though, that's weird cringe though. I'm weird cringe with a touch of psycho. He's just weird cringe. You gotta add the psycho to it. The psycho adds a bit of flair.
You scared, man? Nope. You? Nope. Hold me. Hey, pay attention.
Oh my god, he's so silly. He's such a goofy character, you can't help but love him. So Jimmy and Will Smith's character head off with their fleet of fighter jets to take a jab at the aliens. Unfortunately, when they fire, nothing happens as it is revealed that the spaceship has a force field around it. Because of course it does. As the fleet attempts to fly over the spaceship, it releases all of its dogfighters. A whole bunch of soldiers die. Steve and his best friend Miller are being chased by some of the aliens. Miller thinks he can pull an evasive maneuver, but because of G-force he can't breathe, and out of panic he takes off his mask. And this part was honestly so sad. Like, we just met the character and I thought I wasn't gonna be able to care for this guy, but because he was such a sweet character and seemed like a really sweet person, and through the main character we could feel the love in their relationship, I really did feel bad. I really felt horrible when he met his demise.
Put your mask back on! That's an order, Marine! I can't breathe! Jimmy!
Was so sad. Like he lost his best friend. But it's all good because in the next scene, he's cracking jokes and acting like his best friend didn't just die.
Oh, fuck.
After causing the alien jet to crash,
Ah! That's right! That's right!
Steve grabs the alien from out of its ship.
Welcome to Earth.
So he can haul it across the desert or salt flats or whatever this area is supposed to be.
I could have been at a barbecue!
Yes, that's what's important, to yell out to the unconscious alien, not remotely acknowledge here or any time after that your best friend just died. And yes, I get it that some people deal with things differently, but it would be easier to relate to the characters if they had actually cared about each other when you set up a relationship to try and convince us that they do. Anyway, later, Steve gets a ride from the RV herd. That's when he meets the old washed up pilot Russell and his kids. Meanwhile, the president and most of his people discover that there was a secret part of the government that apparently in this universe is their version of Men in Black. The president only discovered this after Jeff Goldblum, aka David's father, starts going on about Area 51, much to everyone's embarrassment, until the one person in the entire room suddenly gets up and is like,
"There's no Area 51. There's no recovered spaceship."
That's not entirely accurate.
Really, bitch? Really?
just look at their faces. That's how my face would have looked. You know, not like we have actual aliens trying to invade us. But you know, I just figured that this was the opportune time, not before, to let you know that, yeah, we actually did have a spaceship before in a whole ass area of the government that deals in alien research. Not to mention, we already have several bodies of aliens and one of their spaceships from a long time ago. Seriously, what is wrong with the logic of these people? And here we are, the secretive Area 51 that was established after the Roswell incident in 1947. So for all this time, they have been studying that crashed spacecraft that looks just like the ones they're fighting and the thingamajiggies inside of it. Why the president should not have known this, I have no idea why. Oh wait, I knew I recognized that guy. That's Data from Star Trek. Jesus, was he never young? Anyway, Dr. Brackish Oaken. Seriously though, who names their child Brackish? The word brackish means slightly salty, like how you describe a mixture of river water and sea water, you know, like in the estuaries. Otherwise, it means distasteful. So unless this guy changed his name, which I have no idea why he would, a mother looked down at her beautiful suckling newborn baby and decided to bestow upon him a name that means unpleasant and distasteful. I don't get it. Dr. Oaken starts to tell everyone that these aliens don't have vocal cords and they must have some other means of communicating. So, they had these things since 1947. Now, I don't know exactly what the Roswell incident in this universe means because they seem kind of vague about it, but I couldn't help but think, what if this fleet of aliens decided to attack Earth because one of their brethren accidentally crash landed on this planet and the humans in all their barbaric nature decide to experiment on and kill their friends? What if this entire Independence Day movie is just revenge, but from like the aliens' point of view and they're the good guys? What if it's from their point of view and they're the main character in their own John Wick movie?
Restricted area. I can't let you pass without clearance. You want to see my clearance? Maybe I'll just leave this here with you.
I don't know why this part was so hilarious. I kept rewinding it over and over again. It's the way the guy just flinched. He looked like he was legit scared to me. So of course, that works, you know? Because like, why not?
Let him pass. Let him pass.
Get the hell out of the way.
And so because he has an actual alien that's partly alive, that means that he's automatically allowed inside. Yes, yes. Why don't we bring one of the enemy aliens, you know, not knowing barely anything about them, inside our very important base with very important technology? I don't know how nobody else is thinking this, but the first thing that would have been on my mind is, what if these things have a built-in self-destruction chip, so if they're ever taken alive by the enemy, they just blast the entire facility into smithereens? But I guess these movies never have that line of questioning. So this good old Shadow Kitsune here is telling you that in the event of something like this, for goodness sake, do not bring a dead or alive member of the species that is trying to annihilate you, and that you know to absolutely be hostile and have malintent into your base. That is stupid. Will Smith, aka Steve's girlfriend, and her son Dylan end up finding the first lady who is the only survivor of her aircraft crash, because of course she is.
So what do you do for a living?
I'm a dancer.
Ballet.
No, exotic.
I like how the lady is like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And then Jasmine has to be like, don't be, I'm not. I can provide for my son. And she does it gracefully so the woman doesn't feel bad. But honestly, I hate it when people try to presume what you do before you have a chance to answer them. Like, really, lady? Ballet is not the only type of dance out there. And if you're gonna ask someone a question, at least wait until they answer. For goodness sake, you're in politics and you don't know how to talk to people. I do also see the irony of everyone in this movie telling Will Smith's character to not marry a stripper and him saying everyone else be damned. So Dr. Oaken and his staff are operating on the alien biosuit. And you know what? Good job. They're wearing masks, but really, bro, why are they not wearing goggles? What if alien jizz juice flies into their eyes and it's corrosive or something?
Jizz trap!
I mean, even on Earth, there are some animals that you would not want your face close to or want their stuff to get on you or inside your eye holes. Not to mention, if the alien has a self-destructing gas or something, that can come out once you open it up. You see what I mean? Things do not end well for these dumbass people from Alien Covenant, and the alien ends up waking up and taking Dr. Oaken as hostage, or at least his body, after telepathically assaulting him and using him to communicate to the president. So while the president tries to make nicey-nicey with the alien, who is basically commanding them to let him free, the alien telepathically forces his way inside of the president's mind. The Secret Service bodyguards find out this room that was supposed to contain the alien, as they were doing the operation, is actually not bulletproof. And so, you know, surprise, surprise, the alien could have gotten out there anytime it wanted to, you know, but it chose not to for some reason, because I guess it doesn't understand the concept of glass. But let's just say that the alien did this because he knew that the people would shoot and kill him and he didn't want that to happen. Okay, So then I would counter with, then why is he threatening to kill them and saying that he has no plans for peace? And that when they ask him what he wants, he replies with that he just wants them to die. Honestly, if he was trying to negotiate his way out of there, he was doing a piss poor job at it, and it cost him his life. Good job, now your hands and legs and crotches up in the air. While the president's mind was melded with the aliens, he learned that the extraterrestrials were like locusts. They go from planet to planet and use up all their resources and then just annihilate them. Earth is just next in line, which makes me wonder even more why the aliens waited so goddarn long before attacking. You know, like, why was the countdown even needed? So yeah, the president didn't want to nuke the ship before, you know, with nuclear winter being the possibility and stuff, but now after seeing inside the alien's mind and what the alien has seen, he's like, yeah.
Nuke them! Get them before they get you.
As you can guess, they try, and it doesn't work. They celebrated too early. They still have a visual. Remain Will Smith's character had taken a helicopter and goes to the area where he last saw his girlfriend or thought she was supposed to be.
Jasmine!
He's yelling at her name, and I guess you can hear over the sound of the whirring helicopter blades. Anyway, he sees her with the First Lady and Dylan and rescues them and carries them back to base. Oh my god, we like totally gotta kiss and take our time doing it, even though the First Lady is like fucking bleeding out over there, and I'm aware of how severe her injuries are. Not like we can't do this at a later time after she's safe, because she's a fucking First Lady and she's bleeding out only 4 feet, like, beside us, but this is more important. Okay, like seriously, this goes on for a while.
Because I'm bleeding? I'm still bleeding?
At least the president and his daughter are able to say goodbye to the First Lady one last time, and it's such a sad scene. Does this guy not have the ability to cry on command? Because every time you see he's sad or he's experiencing like momental loss, he's always covering his freaking face like a dog that's taught to pretend to be sad.
No. I'm sad.
Like, to me, it's looking like he's trying really hard not to laugh. The sad, depressed David gets an idea from something his father said, because that's what movies do. And it's when he mentions catching a cold. Oh my god, viruses! So this is how they decide to take down the alien ship. You ready?
Wait for it. Wait for it.
They're gonna hack it by planting a computer virus on the mothership. Oh my god. So Data said that their technology was way more... Sorry. God damn it. Okay, start over. So so David said... Sorry, Data, that's not his name. You know what I mean? Data said that their technology was way more advanced than ours. So please tell me how our little primitive computer virus is going to take out a system, advanced technology computer interface. I just don't understand. Then what was the point of even saying that in the beginning, that their technology is way more advanced than ours? So far, aside from the freaking shield, I don't really see anything else that's alluding to that. It feels like at this point in the movie, even though I am enjoying it, they were just like, just let it go, just let it happen. Just come up with something, and this is the best that we can come up with. Just go with it, you know, because America. So Dr. Malcolm, wait, hold on, no, David decides to showcase a new plan of how he intends to disarm the shields of the alien spaceships.
Major Mitchell.
Oh, shoot it.
I guess he doesn't consider, even though he's supposedly now the smartest man alive, that bullets ricochet and can kill someone. And there are a whole bunch of people in that room standing around without any protection, including a child, maybe 2, if the president's child is there too, and the freaking president himself. And even if he didn't know how bullets work, because, you know, that's not his feel and all that jazz, the freaking soldier does. Secretary of Defense does. The guy who shoots the can, he's head of something. I'm not sure what he's head of, but he's head of something, and it never enters his mind that because, you know, you've tried to fire at these alien things before, that anything you fire upon it either explodes upon contact or has no effect because it's a solid object or is acting as one. And so if you try to use a bullet, there's a chance that it might bounce back. Anyway, he's like, look, the shield's down now, so you can shoot it. And so he tries again and shoots the can. Oh, wow, look. Stephen and Jasmine get married. And when this woman, the secretary or person to the president, have no idea what she is, David's ex-wife, yeah, when she sees him still wearing their wedding ring, she feels all gooey inside and
moist.
I guess seeing two other people get married, the end of the world, and seeing the man that you love still wearing his wedding ring is enough to make you want to try again. At this point, you might have well stayed married, because then what makes you think that the second time around is going to work? So David and Steven decide to go into the alien spaceship, the one that's been sitting there for all this time that they were operating on, and exact David's plan. Aww.
Oops. Oops. What does that mean? What do you mean?
No, I got it. Well, you say we try that one again, huh?
Yes, without the oops.
Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum. So they have the virus at the ready and head for the mothership. The president, because he's a badass, decides to lead the attack because he's a fighter pilot. He and other soldiers will wait around the ships that are stationed over the cities while Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum head out into the atmosphere, plant the virus into the mothership. They are brought in by the aliens inside the ship, and it appears that they are the only ones coming back, and the aliens do not see anything wrong with this. The soldiers test if the shield is still up. Unfortunately, it is. As they all decide to leave, the president's like, you know what, I'm gonna take another crack at it. And honestly, the movie does suspense so well. They hang on to it. Feels like those Bollywood movies, to be honest. And it is a direct hit. The aliens swarm, but at least the humans now have a fighting chance. The huge ship does not like this and prepares for its ultimate critical attack by opening up its destructive weapon. What a time to be alive. And it's at this time that people realize there's no more missiles. Yep, nobody has any more missiles. But it's okay, because the Russell pilot comes in to save the day.
Sorry I'm late, Mr. President! I told you I wouldn't let you down.
Aww. I guess he's the only pilot that has a missile still. Unfortunately, when he's about to deploy his missile, it gets jammed. There's a poignant moment when he looks at his kids and tells everyone to tell his kids that he loves them, and he flies his jet straight into the mothership. And honestly, I didn't know where the scene came from, but as he said it, I was like, oh, that's where they got that from. Because I would hear it everywhere and never knew what movie people were talking about.
Oh, boys! I'm back!
That was such an amazing scene. That dad is a badass. I was honestly crying because I could not imagine like losing my dad and just couldn't imagine it. But he went out like such a badass. And can you imagine the people on the ground are hearing all of this? He is so freaking cool, bro. I really thought it was Robin Williams that had said that in some weird Robin Williams movie or Jim Carrey or something, but no, it was him. They successfully bring down the ship that's hanging over the city. One guy's like, your dad's a hero. You should be proud. And that's such a warrior thing to do because the kid is the only one there not celebrating. And then the defense guy goes over to him and basically does his man's version of encouraging him. Because, you know, men aren't going to hug a kid who just lost his father and they're going to be like, I'm so sorry you lost your father. Oh my God. That's just not how men operate. But this was honestly the best thing he could have done. Instead of helping the kid to steep down in his depression about losing his father, he encouraged him by telling him, you should be proud. Your dad was very brave. So that means that, yeah, he's going to miss his father, but he can be proud knowing that his dad went out the way he wanted. Well, I don't think he wanted that, but you know what I mean. So they tell everyone how to defeat the aliens. Everyone's evacuated, hopefully. But oh no, our main character, Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith, are still stuck in the alien bait in the mothership. And now the aliens realize that something is up. Two main characters deliver their payload, and they narrowly escape the closing doors of the mothership. Ah! Everyone around the world is united in celebrating bringing down all the ships. Steve is reunited with his new wife, Jasmine, and Jeff Goldblum's character does that sexy walk. I mean, good grief. Dude, just look at Jeff Goldblum's look at his freaking sway, bro. Yo, what the hell is that? Oh my God. Did he practice that walk though? God damn, Jeff Goldblum. Holy shit. Like this guy just oozes like sensuality. It's freaking bizarre. And then we have Vivica A. Fox running to her man. That part's so cute. And everyone's okay. The president says, good job. And you know that president's gonna stay in term. Because he didn't even go to a bunker and hide. He literally led the fight to taking down these aliens. This movie was badass. There were so many issues with it. Oh my God, was it a silly freaking movie? But I absolutely enjoyed it. And this is actually the first time I've watched it straight through while I was aware of what was happening. Because I think I was this. I was pretty small when I saw it. And I think I went in when my parents were already watching it, and then I started watching because I loved Will Smith. But you know, when you're little, you don't really understand what you're looking at. Like, you're watching movies, but you don't really know that you're watching movies. And there were so many people in it. Like Jurassic Park, I knew that. Heart for Heart. All the Disney movies, I could sing all the songs and stuff. But like this, with all the soldiers and talking and whatnot, I wasn't interested. Such a classic America movie. I mean, if you want the embodiment of America, this movie is it. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.